Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talk Tottenham here with your host Tom, giving you guys a preview for tomorrow's lunchtime kickoff away at Wolves in the Premier League. We kick off at 12:30 in the early match at Molineux. So yeah, in this video, guys, I want to give you my predicted lineup. I'll be previewing the game and then giving you my score prediction after it. So look, we come into this game um, in not good shape, guys. Before the Chelsea game on Monday, we were all walking, weren't we, in a wonderland. It felt like nothing could go wrong, and everything that Ange was touching was turning to gold. Well, that pretty much came to an end in the Chelsea match, which is just, I'll be honest, it's still hard to take just how much bad luck went against us in that game. So look, we really take a really patched up team up to Wolves tomorrow. And for the first time really this season, Tottenham are going to have to be really looking at their squad now to get them through the next few games. And yeah, you know, everything that could have gone wrong in the Chelsea game did. And now really, guys, it's a case, isn't it, of let's see what this team is made of. Let's see if Ange can get a tune out of some of these players that hadn't really been ticking for us for a while now. Um, I'm confident that the work that Ange has done to creating a really harmonious team um, has really kind of relaxed everyone at the club. And my hope really in the next few games is that these fringe players that will come into the team now, they'll be able to play in a lot more happy and relaxed manner than how things were with under Conte, because I do think that Conte's kind of authoritative, very strict regime, it didn't really work for many of the players. I don't think it really works at all for too many players anyway in top level football anymore. Players do need an arm wrapped around their shoulder and a bit of support and motivation, and that's certainly what Ange has done, isn't it, to the team. I did just listen to Ange's press conference. He was in his presser. I was watching it just at lunchtime a couple of hours ago there, and yeah, guys, it's really really bad news on the injury front. If you didn't know, Mickey van der Ven is going to be out. Is confirmed now until the new year, so he's out for 2 months. But probably just as bad as that, and I wasn't expecting this. Ange has also confirmed now that James Maddison is also going to be out for 2 months, which I didn't know that was the case. I knew that he'd injured himself in the Chelsea match, but I thought there was a hope that he was going to get back for Wolves. So we've lost him now as well. So that coupled with the fact that Richarlison is probably going to be out for a month after his surgery, and then with also the suspensions. Um, I mean, talk about bad luck and crashing back down to earth again. So, look, the fact of the matter is, what's happened has happened, and we've got to go up to Wolves and show our character and show what we're about in this game. So, look, guys, this predicted team, if nothing else, it's going to be a little bit different to the lineups that I've given you this season already, because let's be honest, the first 11 for Spurs can pretty much pick themselves. We know what the best team is, but now we can't pick that team, and I don't know when that team's going to be next able to play with each other. It might not be until after Christmas. So listen, let's go through the lineup. Obviously, no change in goal whatsoever. Why would there be? Big Vicario, absolutely outstanding, wasn't he, in that Chelsea game? Sweeper keeper. The number of saves that the man made, he didn't deserve to be conceding 4 goals. He didn't really have any chance, to be honest. Most of Jackson's goals were tap-ins. But yeah, Vicario, despite that, was absolutely brilliant in that game and saved us on many occasions. So Vicario will be in goal. Starting at right back will be Pedro Porro. Now, Porro was actually just one of only four players that finished the game, that started the game at home to Chelsea. So only four players. That was absolutely incredible. That finished the game, that started the game against Chelsea. Just shows us all the substitutions, red cards, and injuries that we got in that game. But Porro, I thought he was excellent again in the Chelsea game. He's just come on leaps and bounds this season, Porro. Really providing good wit for us. He's good on the ball, isn't he? He quite often makes the right choice. His defending's improved. He's actually got a really, really good pass on him as well. I remember that kind of like sort of driven cross that he played in the Chelsea game in the first half. Kulusevski nearly got on the end of it, but he's got that in his locker. He's shown it a few times. Also, what about that ball that he played through to Son in the Burnley game earlier this season? That was kind of a whipped through ball. So yeah, for a right back, he's got a hell of a ping on him. Porro to start again. So look, now we move on to the centre backs, and this is really contentious, guys, because the centre backs to finish the game against Chelsea were Emerson Royal and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Sorry, I've got that wrong. Obviously, Dyer came on, didn't he? It was Dyer and Højbjerg, and I think Emerson was playing in the fullback position. But Emerson had actually I think he was also alternating. He was playing quite central as well. I think, I know Eric Dyer has come in for a lot of criticism, and he didn't have a good season last year. And look, I'm not about to start singing Dyer's praises, and I don't think he's the answer. I really don't. But people forget also that the season before last, Dyer actually had a really, really good season, and he was really, really solid. And he was performing really, really well with Romero at the back, I think, in a three, I think, when Conte first came in. Now, he let himself down last season, but you've got to play Eric Dyer in this game because we need some experience back there. And, let's be honest, when he came on in the Chelsea game in the second half, he didn't do a lot wrong, and he seemed pretty comfortable on the ball. And I think it's just another indication that Ange can squeeze like more out of these players than Conte and Mourinho ever did. So yeah, I'm backing Dyer. I think let's give him another chance. Let's give him another chance. The fact of the matter is that in all likelihood he's going to be playing pretty much probably most games before Christmas anyway, with Van der Ven out. So yeah, I would be putting Dyer in, and it's who plays next to him, which is really, really interesting. So look, there's a few candidates. One of them is Ben Davis, if he's fit. I think Davis and Dyer played a little bit together in pre-season at centre back. It's not the option I particularly like. I don't mind Davis in a back three, but in a back two with Dyer, it does make me very nervous. But again, Davis is pretty reliable as well. But together, just not sure at centre back. Also, there's not much pace there either. Another one is Emerson Royal. Would you really play him at centre back? Personally, I wouldn't. He actually, again, he played pretty well when he came on against Chelsea, but I do feel more comfortable with Royal in the fullback positions. So that leads us to youngster Ashley Phillips, who I believe is only 18 years old. We signed him from Blackburn in the summer. I think he's had a handful of games for the for the under 23s or under 21s. But he, as far as I know, he's a good prospect, and the only natural centre back that we've kind of got left at the club at the moment. So for me, I would be putting Ashley Phillips in, and with Dyer, hopefully kind of stewarding him and guiding him through the game. I do think that could be a good partnership there. Dyer and Phillips. Well, not a good partnership, but I think it's what we've got. It's what we've got, guys. So if yeah, Dyer and Phillips in the centre for me, and then left back. It's a toss-up, isn't it, between Davis and Emerson. I think I think he's going to probably go with. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's a really tricky one. Emerson kind of gives you a little bit more mobility, but Davis is that kind of like tried and tested and more natural left back. I'll probably just plump just slightly for Davis. But you know, like I said before in previous videos, it's a massive drop off in quality when Udogie doesn't play. So yeah, you know, from the defence we've had, we're going, you know, now to Vicario, Porro, Dyer, Phillips, and Davis. Bit of a worry, really, guys, isn't it? But needs must. Let's move on to the midfield now. No change for me in the double pivot. First man in there will be Pat Matasar. One of the few that remained out there in the Chelsea game. Sar's just brilliant. You know, I love his energy. Gets up the pitch, gets down the pitch. Brilliant. You know, he's been an unsung hero this season. He's done so well. And it's a big game for him. You know, it's going to be a physical game in the middle there, isn't it, against Wolves? They do like to make the game physical. We always know it's a tough match going to Molineux. So, you know, Sar's going to have to really be on his game. And next to him, still walking that tightrope with the yellow cards, Yves Bissouma. I don't really see us changing that middle. Yeah, I know Højbjerg is on the bench, chomping at the bit, probably to get a chance. But you know, for me, keep it as it is. You know, Bissouma and Sarr have been a good partnership for us this season. Let's see if we can get them back to the levels that we saw a little bit more at the start of the season. There's been a little bit of a drop off, but overall, pretty happy, and I feel like both of them give Spurs this new kind of athletic dynamism in the middle of the park there. So yeah. Bissouma and Sarr in the middle. On the right, I see no reason to change it. So yeah, Dejan Kulusevski will come in. Got a bit of a rest because he came off towards the end of the Chelsea game. So hopefully we're seeing a little bit more of a fresh Kulusevski. Obviously he got his goal in the Chelsea game. You know, good on him for taking that shot. I know it got a massive deflection, but you know it was on target. So he claimed the goal. And yeah, that's what I want to see Kulusevski do more of. You know, when he picked up that ball for the goal, yeah, he just looked so confident, didn't he? You know, like I just knew he was going to get his shot off, and it was just brilliant to see it nestle in the back of the net. But you know, with everything that happened in the game, you know what can you do? You know, Kulu was probably one of the people sacrificed. I think he might have come off for when we put on probably maybe the likes of Højbjerg, and I think he might have been one of the players sacrificed when we went down to 9 men, if I remember rightly. So yeah, Dejan Kulusevski on the right hand side. With the news now that Maddison won't be with us probably until the new year, which is devastating news. It's a toss up now, guys, between do you put Rodrigo Bentancur back in. He only got 37 minutes in the Chelsea game. He's clearly still lacking match fitness. Or do you give a start to Giovanni Lo Celso, the forgotten man? Look, Lo Celso is one of those players that has really divided the fan base. There's been moments, I think it was when Mourinho was in charge, where Lo Celso was winning games for us by himself and was regularly man of the match. So look, we know he's got the quality. He's also one of the only players in the team that can pick a pass and do that. But let's be honest, guys. After that form under Mourinho, he really dipped, and the injuries have taken its toll on him, and we haven't really ever seen him come back to that kind of form. That said, he did play pretty well in pre-season. Look, I'm going to probably give him a chance in this game. I would play him because we can't risk Bentancur breaking down and getting injured. Um, so I would probably play Lo Celso and give him a chance. He's obviously Ange kept him in the squad for a reason. I think we all thought that he was off at one point. Um, and it was a surprise to me really to see Lo Celso still in the squad. I was pretty pleased actually that we did keep hold of him. I think there's a player in there, and let's see if Ange can kind of unleash him. So this is it's the chance that Lo Celso wanted, and he's going to have to take it. And on the left of the three, Brennan Johnson. Now Johnson was really, really unlucky to come off in the Chelsea game because he was sacrificed after 20 minutes because of the Romero sending off. That was a shame because he'd started the game really, really well, and he's been a bright spark in the games this season. So look, Johnson to start for me on the left-hand side. Really looking forward to seeing Johnson now get a run of games in the team. He will get that run because Richarlison now is out for a month with the pelvic surgery. So let's see Johnson now. I think he deserves a run of games. His cameo roles have been really promising, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play tomorrow. And then of course up top, the man himself, so unlucky not to score with that slightly offside goal against Chelsea. Our captain Heung-min Son, who was I'm loving the pressing by Sonny, by the way. I've just got to say that. He's such a team player. He'll always just try so hard for the team, and that closing down that he does now on the goalkeeper is really effective. I've seen a lot of keepers now because of Sonny just kicking it out into touch. So look, Sonny is really putting it in for the team this season, and he's relishing being captain, and good on him, and really good on him. And I'm sure the way that Sonny started, he's got 8 goals already this season. There's no reason why he can't hit 20 in the Premier League this season. So guys, let's go through that team again. A really different looking first 11 this time for Tottenham. But my predicted lineup is Vicario and goal with a back four of Porro, Dyer, Phillips and Davis, Basuma, Sarr, Richarlison, Lo Celso, Johnson and Son. Do you agree with that lineup? Really interested this time, guys. Do drop your comments in. Who else could potentially come in? Who else is there? I was thinking that during the week. The likes of Højbjerg is going to be left on the bench. Skippy, maybe Emerson, Felice, and Bentancur obviously could come on and do a job. Would you play Bentancur from the start? Do you trust Lo Celso to put in a shift anymore? Would you give him a one last chance like I have? Would really like to know. Moving on to the score prediction. It's really hard, I think, to predict this game because we just don't know how the team is going to perform. Look, the defence really, really worries me, and I think it's going to worry everyone, isn't it, guys? It's so interesting to see who he's going to go with at centre back. If we, I think it could be quite a high scoring game, this. But, I just really hope that Spurs run out in and get like the better score out of 5 and that we win 3-2 or something. I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs in this game. There could be more goals, but I think the first goal is so important. If we get it first, I think we're going to win. If Wolves get it, I think it's going to be tricky for us guys to get back in this game. I really do. It's a tricky one. It's a really tricky one. My heart is my head is saying it could be a draw, but my heart is sort of pushing for a 2-1 win but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a really tight game and really physical. Guys, let me know your score prediction in the comments. Do you think Spurs have got enough? You know, who would you play at centre back? Would Big Ashley Phillips come in, or would you play a more of a Davis or Emerson with a bit more of experience in there? It's going to be really interesting, that's for sure, to see which team he plays. So let's just hope that the team go up there, believe in what we've been doing this season, play the same way. And look, the other thing to mention as well is these players that are coming in, they're playing for their place in the team. Their motivation should be, look, I really want to impress the boss, therefore I'm going to have to really put in a good performance. And I'm sure that will be what Ange is saying to them. You know, let's create some real good competition in the squad. Really hope we don't get any more injuries. The squad is absolutely battered at the moment. You know, from top to bottom, we are absolutely riddled with injuries. We can't pick up anymore. That's why I wouldn't play Bentancur in this game. But I'd probably bring him on if we're drawing or losing after about an hour. I'd probably bring him on. So guys, let me know your score prediction. Let's really hope that the boys can go up to Molineux tomorrow and deliver a performance for the fans. You know, it's one game before the international break. We can then regroup. We can get some of, or hopefully, one or two of the injuries back. I don't know how many games Udogi suspended for. Hopefully, it's just the one, and we've got him back for the Villa game. Let me know if you know how many games he's banned for in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. Smash the like button on this video, and I'll be bringing you my match reaction tomorrow afternoon from Molineux in the game. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs.